No, Rene.
That cast is a bloody fake. I was there when it was found. I did the test. I got the photo. Okay.
Please support this channel by subscribing and leaving comments.
Tell you something. This is your first experience with the likes of Freeman, right?
Rene, I don't want to hear about Freeman. Just tell me about the tracks first.
Look, you showed the track here, which I can prove to you 100% is fake.
How? Or do it.
I don't give a shit how it is done. It is a fake.
No, I mean,
look,
sure.
Look, we are coming back to this basic thing. I did the Bluff Creek tracks are real.
And these reflect
all other ones are fake.
I agree.
Okay, then let's not make excuses. Let's be scientific.
I'm not
if
making
the Bluff Creek tracks are real, if they are real, then all the other junk is fake. You can't have it both ways.
So Bigfoot just lives in Bluff Creek.
What?
Bigfoot only lives in Bluff Creek.
No, but
that's the only tracks you're accepting then.
Which ones are you taking as a standard? Look, that's just like me pulling a $20 bill out and say, piss on this. This one's the faces on that side over here, over there. Look, you have to have some scale to judge something by.
I agree 100%. That's what I did. That's why.
Are you telling us you got Sasquatch in Walla Walla where their feet goes like this, the toes over here, then like this, then here? Hey, either they're all freaks in Walla Walla, which they are, or they're crazy in Bluff Creek, but you cannot have it both ways. And look, this is really scientific. You have to have uniformity and conformity. Again.
You take...
Because I'm really... Look, since 1982 we listened to the Walla Walla crap. And there are people here who were there. I was there 7 weeks. I was there 3 weeks. I investigated Freeman. Let me... Summerlin, the whole bloody lot. Vance Orchard. Look, you say you... Let me just tell you one example of your mistake you just made. You say, Freeman, you surprised Freeman. You phoned West Summerlin.
Tracks. Talk about the tracks.
No, just a minute. Just shows you the way they operate. You say you phoned West Summerlin.
Yeah.
Freeman didn't know you were coming. West Summerlin phoned Vance Orchard. No doubt about it. Vance Orchard joked Freeman. Freeman went fake track. Hey, it happened over and over and over and over and over. You're just one of the latest one which got suckered.
If Freeman faked these tracks, he knows... Take their shoes and socks off and line their feet up. You're going to see as much variation. Okay, let's do it. Someone who wants to do it with.
Okay.
You're going to see as much variation in the human foot as you do in
If this is the case, we might as well all pack up and go home.
Why? If I
Which
have found...
tracks are real? The Bluff Creek ones or the Walla Walla?
I'm not vouching for all of the Walla Walla ones. I've only seen...
If some of them are real and some of them are fake, forget Walla Walla. Period.
Well, for one thing,
Okay. Well, there's no sense.
Are you saying that you did not track out a step-by-step chain of evidence from the initial point until...
I tracked it out as far as I could under the time.
Steps?
Yes. As far as I I could under the time limits. We went back to where we saw the first track we could find coming upward. We followed it step by what distance? Well, like I said, that stretch of road is probably about 50 yards, and then it goes down across the field another 30 yards. It wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough.
Enough for what?
To track, to see where, how long you can track this animal, where could it have ended.
You go out and manufacture 45 footprints, even if they're the most ridiculous looking footprints that come even close to this, and then tell me it wasn't enough.
Freeman
I'm
did
sorry.
years.
You do it. I have gone out and tried. I don't care what Joel Harden has to say.
Oh, which is
Gee whiz, I don't believe
Who the
it.
hell are you? Look, again, you are another
Let's talk
global
about
trans.
No, I'm not. But what I'm saying is I'm putting up some points, some anatomical points. Same with the video.
You are
I
making
don't
it
care
up.
I don't care if Miss Nude Universe was in that RV. It has absolutely no bearing on what I was saying about the anatomy. I just want somebody here to make some intelligent statement in refutation of those proposals. Rene, I did use the Bluff Creek track as a standard. If I couldn't fit a Bluff Creek skeleton into that track, I'd throw it out.
Look,
But I looked at it.
you know what I did?
Where are my footprints?
Lately, what
Let's,
I did, look at the curve behind the toes and take the percentages. They're a Walla Walla track where the joint of the little toe is 50% of the length of the foot. Totally.
Bachelor of Science. Bachelor of Science.
Who? Well, I don't care. I can
What?
measure too.
What?
2 and 2 makes 4.
No, Rene. And
That test is bloody fake. I was there when it was found. I did the test. I got the photo.
Okay, but you're calling this the end of the track right here.
Well,
And that's where you're getting your 50% from here to here.
right here, you take, this is the joint here, okay?
Yeah.
And you measure up, it doesn't matter, you measure up from here to here, and take a Bluff Creek test and see what you're gonna get. The curve there is incredible.
There
It
is
doesn't work that way. You have no power in that foot, none
They
whatsoever.
don't use their toes to push off. Don't
If
use
you
the
want
closest
to talk about
person.
the tracks, and the anatomy, on the screen,
I was there.
where you saw, it shows the muscles from the anatomy. I don't really think that was clear enough.
Well, I said that the figures that I'm having to work with at this stage are not as clear as what I was working on the computer screen. And I'll give you that I am asking you to use to interpolate a little more than I would like.
That's
But,
where I think the danger comes in doing a little more interpolation.
Are there any further questions?
Yeah, I'd like to ask him with regards to this photo here, where would the ankle joint be placed, the
Well,
shin bone?
The shin bone, if you take this as the back, which is, it has to be,
Yeah.
it makes no sense to cut it off here.
Yeah.
All right, then the transverse tarsal joint would be, again, 42%.
Wouldn't it be off balance? Because, I mean, you look at the frontal mass of the foot, especially towards the small thing that Rene pointed out.
There's the foot right there. That wouldn't be off balance. That's not so different than a human foot, with the exception that the heel is exceptionally long and the toes are a little bit longer. But I mean, the overall structure is very similar. It's just a flat foot. I mean, there's not going to be a problem with balance on a foot like that.
We have another question here.
Regarding the creature videotape, the shape of the creature's face and head relating to human face. Would I ever consider the possibility of a human subject wearing a pair of night vision goggles, which have visual receptors about 3 to 4 inches in front of their eyes, and someone engineering a mask configuration so the forehead to produce the creature?
Yeah, that would be possible. I mean, that's a conceivable motion. It'd be interesting to try that. I mean, that's what needs to be investigated. know, and that's the thing with any video, especially when it's not corroborated with tracks, and that's a real shortcoming of the Redwoods. Like I said, I'm not trying to convince you of the Redwoods were fake. I'm just simply positing some hypotheses that suggest that there's more to it than just, say, brushing off lightly and saying, oh, it's just a man in a monkey suit. You have to demonstrate to me then how that was constructed. You know, we keep talking, there's all these hypotheses about you know, what's his name, Kordinsky, or like you read about Kordinsky, and the mysterious person in the chambers that constructed the suit. I want to see the suit. You can't tell me if someone constructed something as elaborate and compelling as what the person on the Patterson film, or the subject of the Patterson film, was appeared as, would simply throw it into the mothballs to preserve a hoax. You could make $1 million if you waltz that thing out and parade it around for There's a suit in it.
Just a comment on that gentleman's question about night vision goggles. If I've had a lot of experience with night vision goggles, military and stuff like that. If you wear night vision goggles and you're using them, they're on, and you stare headlong into high beam light shining into your face, then you're going to burn your face. Within about 10 seconds. And if it doesn't destroy your eyes, it will definitely destroy the goggles. Because you cannot use these with bright lights shining in your face. You don't use it because the whole purpose of these goggles is to amplify existing light, like the light from stars, things like that. If those bright lights shone into his face, it would be as bright as stars. It would kill him.
I have a question. Question?
Number of members on the tape. Has anyone ever counted up how many? Did they take an inventory of the cast members that were on the bus?
Yep.
And then did
There
anyone?
were 5 people on the
And
RV.
so can you distinguish 5 different voices if you listen to only the audio track portion of the video?
It's,
I haven't actually done that, but through that course you can count
You
for
can
all
count all 5 of
You
them.
see him, yeah, because he's going back and forth and back.
question?
Dan, you can show the slides.
Yeah, I'm going to run through the slides immediately thereafter. Question?
Question, do you believe, Jeff, that in front of the motorhome, the Bigfoot went across, it came around and went right across again in front of the high beam or the high candlelight? Do you think that's realistic?
Yeah, it wasn't like he walked across and then walked right back. He was walking down the road, probably towards the blackberry patch. It was best is the most logical circumstance. They drove up on him. I mean, they were at first 108 feet back. At the point where he disappeared behind the bend in that road, there was still another 30 feet to the redwood tree. Okay. So he's walking at an angle back behind that little bend. So as they're driving up, he still can be covering that additional 30 feet. They come around that bend and then they're right on him. And I mean, I'm not in its head or in the actor's head or whatever, but it's not implausible for an animal to retrace its steps the direction it came when it's threatened. And you know, they were barreling down on it. He slammed on the brakes. You can see everyone go lurching forward. And it's right then, as it steps out, and this RV's coming around the corner on it, the Beetle display comes up. I mean, it's perfect timing for the response for in a high tension, threatening. Either it's feeling threatened or it's threatening back that this thing's in its territory. And it lingers there just long enough to stare him down, and then it turns and it's in the trees and gone. So no, I don't think it's behaving. I mean, that did bother me at first, because when it was first described to me, they said it went into the trees and loitered and came back down and then walked right through the heights. I thought, well, that's ridiculous. But if you look carefully at the tape, they're driving forward to catch up to it.
Let's,
But I'd like to, I'd like to say that you're aware that people who go barefoot, you know, childhood, you know, going barefoot, lose the art.
No, they increase it. They're planning to
That's what I've been told.
Well, then you've been told wrong. I'm sorry, that you've been told wrong. Going barefoot will strengthen the arch.
Well, then
Little kids that have problems with flat feet, they encourage them to go barefoot and use their toes.
What makes the human barefoot go? What makes it fall on our flat feet?
It's just a pathological condition, which is that a congenital, pardon, it begins.
Starts from?
It's either from birth or through excessive trauma or strain on the plantar arch, the plantar ligaments of the arch, that makes the arch collapse pathologically. What are you shaking your head?
Well, because I've learned that, practice. And so I'll.
They need a refresher course in anatomy. I talked to podiatrists, I've studied the foot for 6 years.
Yeah.
Human foot, 8 foot, monkey foot.
We need to move on, please.
Enjoyed the show very much, Danny, and I hope to see you here next time.
Let's thank Dr. Jeff Meldrum for his time. I've got a big mouth. I'm going to fly through this real quick with a brief slide presentation and a numeric value. This is the branch from the hard copy video and also from the video that these people got. The guy who took the film was Craig Miller. So, what did we say this was? Let me measure it real quick. It's 40 inches. So you can use that number as a scale for what? Just to determine the sizes of objects in that immediate area. Anyway, these slides were taken by Dick Levan from Fortuna, California, and I think they're quite good, so let's take a look. These slides are from the Anna Marie Goddard film site. So let's go with some lights. The Redwoods tape.
There you go. And this is what's interesting, because if you bear in mind the model that I proposed, this is immediately, obviously, a fake, because the arch is way forward in a human position with the ball placed up here, and has a clear arch, not a pressure ridge produced by a mid-tarsal break, which would have to start right about here. So that feature alone would immediately tip you off that this is a fake track. So the model's useful, I think.
What?
Video.
Have I shot this weekend? This is number 8. So get a second job and you can have a series of them. No, the ones with heads that would be in the way aren't up front right now.
Pardon?
No, the ones that with their heads would be in the way are not up front right now.
Pardon? About what? Oh, what to expect? It's fun.
Can we go to lights,
Can't
please?
take it too serious.
This again, let's just call it the film site. This is the tree right there, and the bottom right there is that burrow. And this is some of the Walker Road area off the road. Dick Levan put this scale here, and the red and the white, those are foot marks.
Foot marks. This is an 8-foot high. It's an extendable Sokeisha surveyor's rod. When it's collapsed, it's 8 feet high.
Okay, he was there March 22nd. The 95 should be 96. He made an interesting comment about how many people he observed there in March 22nd. How many cars did you see go by?
I think there were a total of 7 vehicle trips up and down this road in an hour.
So it's
including a load of teenagers with a trunk full of beer. And
It's
a very, very, even though it's a narrow road, it's a dirt surface road, the surface is totally compacted. They couldn't scuff it up or leave a boot print on it. My tire tracks didn't show. It's just really, really pounded hard.
So in March, Dick Levan observed at least 6 or 7 cars going by on this Walker Road down to the Smith River.
What day of the week?
It's
I
a
think
Thursday afternoon.
Thursday. Okay, and so in August 28th on a Monday, one might expect more traffic because of summer holidays. This would be on the opposite side, going down to the Smith River. The RV, if you see the red and white rod, is right next to the big redwood tree. The RV would be behind that. And here's a close-up of it again of where the subject crossed right here. So I think Jeff Meldrum said we're looking at about 7.5 feet tall or 8 feet.
Probably closer to 8.
Closer to 8. So let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's 8 feet when it's in
Seven.
that state.
That's okay. You're looking at 8 feet there. So we have a reference guide. What is this? Dick, what area is this?
I started just taking a circle around from the point that you said was the photo.
Okay.
So these are all probably a sequential circle,
I see.
either looking up or down the road or down off to either side.
So a lot of the redwoods you can walk around quite easily, but this particular area, it's very rough going. It's very deceptive because the ferns are there and it looks like it's all even surface, but in fact, it's anything but that. It might drop 4 feet and then come back up 4 feet. There again is another view, just to give you a feel for how that specific area looks like. Another view, there's his marker rod there. And what is this one, Dick?
This is facing towards the river. This is right at the edge of where the redwood and mixed conifer stand stops, and an alder stand begins. The alder stand is in elevation 15 feet lower than this, and it drops down to the river. So this is a high water terrace deposit.
And there again, another view. You don't really see it here, but these redwoods and the trees that are in this area, they're really spread out. And this business about Anna Marie Goddard going on the Jay Leno show, she told him, and I was bothered by this comment at first, she said, when was the film made? She said 6 or 6:30, and when I heard that, I said, that can't be. And I said it had to have been taken later in the evening. So if we trust the RV clock, 8:37, I would gather August 28th on a Monday, it would probably be dark because there must have been clouds, it was raining, it was misty, and they also said it was quite windy in the area when it happened. There's another view. And that's basically it. Lights.
My contention is that this is a very, very trafficked place. You're not very far off US 199, which is a major tourist route. You're talking about, within a week or 2 weeks of the Labor Day weekend, traffic whizzes by on 199. I can't conceive of why this Sasquatch would want to be there. The other side of the river is very, very heavily.
My final point about the Anna Marie Goddard case, or what the Redwoods case, is all I want to find out about this specific case is the truth. That's it. If it's a fake, I want to tell people, like, my findings indicate that this information is a fake. If it's real, that's what I want to question. Oh, absolutely. I think it's significant. Question.
Just for contrast, then, we were at the site for about probably close to 3 hours, and on I'll have to back now and see what day of the week.
Early November.
Yeah, in early November. I can't remember what day of the week it was. I'll look at my notes, but in any case, only one car went by, and it was a Forest Service vehicle who came down to see what they wanted to check out the video crew, or just to see what was going on. We had a ranger there with us, but that was the only vehicle we saw the whole time.
I will I was there, one comment, I was there like December 28th, 29th, 30th, and I think I left that day. But it rained nonstop. I mean, it would not stop raining. And I wanted to get out of the area because I'm not accustomed to rain. But even when, in those miserable conditions, 2 cars came down, and this was late in the evening. Question?
Didn't that guard say that was probably a pretty deserted place, and what if you were a patient film, would you want that sort of place where hardly anybody ever came down behind you? When you talk to the guard,
Yeah.
the state park,
Yeah. He said it was not a heavily traveled.
And that would be a place you'd want to try to hide something, you think.
Sure, yeah.
Well, anyway,
That's right, it's a reverse point.
last question.
I think we're being a little hasty in trying to judge the height of this creature. If you move that stick a foot away, you're going to get an entirely different measurement of the height.
Right, right. But I just wanted to get something from the site that we know that this...
Not that stick, the measure stick.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I get
farther
the
away
That
move
isn't
it, yeah.
the exact spot where that creature walked, and I don't think you're going to find the exact.
Oh, sure you can. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can.
Half a foot.
You,
Or
no,
sure, just
you
like
could
a
be
foot
within,
each.
like, within 3 to 4 inches I was
Sure.
within.
I know.
Anyway.
Oh, I know, you're doubtful of everything I say, but that's the case. I used three different methods to establish the height, and every method placed it between 7.5 and 8 feet. The witnesses all said it was within 7.5 and 8 feet. They were looking down just into its eyes, from where their vantage point. Those that were sitting down, the driver that was sitting down, said he just had to look slightly down. He had a sense he was looking slightly down into its eyes. His head is sitting in the chair was at an 8.5 to 9 foot level, depending on if he was sitting up straight or.
I think it was a difficult situation to make that precise judgment.
Why? You've got a videotape record. You've got landmarks in the front. You've got landmarks in the back. You know every dimension of the RV. Pardon?
They aren't that good.
Our next,
To see where the trees are. I mean, the trees aren't that blurry.
we need to move on. Let me introduce our final guest here. He's a comedian from Los Angeles, California. He's going to do a little comedic set. Please welcome Scott Harris. Yeah!
If you're enjoying all this rare and unique content, please show your support by subscribing and leaving comments.